my friends, how are you? I'm Michelle and this is my channel, Penny's Daughter Shares, where I will be talking all about cross stitch today. No other real crafts involved, although those sometimes, if you're new here, will come into play, but not today. For anyone who is coming back, thank you so much for coming back and sharing your time with me. For anyone that is new, thank you so much for checking things out. I hope you enjoy yourself today. And if you do, please like and subscribe below. And as a reminder, you can also tap the bell if you'd like to get notification from YouTube when I upload a new video. So let's see where we need to get started with. A quick life update. How about that? My middle son is back from his Washington, D.C. trip. If you've watched my past couple videos, you know I was a little bit nervous as a mom letting him go. And it was a great trip. Overall, for everyone involved, he had a great time. He handled everything fine. Almost everything went off without a hitch. One small hiccup, but nothing that interrupted his fun, I guess. He managed. And the only other sort of thing about the trip that was difficult was their last day. They were going to eat lunch and then start the trip back from DC here to Michigan. And they were getting lunch, and for whatever reason, lunch did not go as planned, and it took 2 hours versus the 45 scheduled minutes to get everyone their lunch and fed before they got headed back home. So that put them behind a bit. And the other thing that happened is one of the buses ended up blowing a tire on the ride home. All 5 buses pulled off for a bit. Then they decided to send the 4 buses on their way. That was, I think, about a 45-minute delay for those buses. The bus that had to wait for the tire to get fixed, it was several hours later that they ended up getting home. They were all safe. They got home safe. It just was not fun for those parents or those kids, but the parents had to pick them up at like 4 a.m. Ugh. So he had his whole class. They had awesome weather except for the last day, and they were only there for a little while, but they had some rain. So it was great. Thank you again for everyone that, helped encourage me a little bit to be not quite so nervous, or if you gave me suggestions for packing. I appreciate it. But yeah, so that was really great. And I think that's the main life update. Everything else is pretty normal around here. And I have quite a bit I want to share. So we're going to jump into it. First thing I'm going to do is go out of order a bit, because I will talk about my purchases or things that I received later on, but I'm going to start with the one that I'm wearing right now to share with you. So I have a new shirt from Barrie, which is stitchfolk.com. And as you can see, it says cross stitcher and established 1973. I thought that was very fitting to get this, given that everything is about celebrating 50 for me this year. And also, you can see it says cross stitching a wonderful life. And I don't know if I've shared this before. Maybe I have, but It's a Wonderful Life is my most favorite movie of all time. And every year I force my family to suffer through it with me. I think that's how they would word it, that they suffer through it. But every year I have to watch it at least once, and usually I end up watching it a couple of times. But anyway, so I thought that's the reason I really loved this particular one. So that's the first purchase I'm going to share with you. Let's move on to the stitching update. And we are going to talk about the Celebrate 50 Start Along. Hopefully I've gotten that hashtag in here for you. If not, if I forget, it is down in the description box below, so you can see it spelled out in how I word it. First of all, thank you so much, everybody that's been so excited about it. I am having so much fun, and it only makes it even more fun hearing from you, that anyone that's jumping in to participate, or just that you love seeing what I share and all my starts. So all of it is really fun. I appreciate every comment. I try to reply to every comment, but if I happen to miss one, just know I read everything I see, and I appreciate all of them. So thank you so much. And I have, just double checking my numbers, I have 11 more starts to share with you today. So that adds to the 10 I shared in the first parade of starts in the last video. And that brings me to a total of 21 already. So that's pretty crazy, I think, but it's very fun. And I will try to remember as I'm showing you everything to tell you what number we're at, and just if you're curious about that or keeping track at all. If you ever have sort of questions about these that maybe I forget to say something, or maybe you want to go back and revisit them, obviously you could watch parts of the video again because I talk about them in detail, but also I am sharing all of these individually over on Instagram, and they will have the details of, you know, what fabric I'm using, all of that good stuff. So the first thing I want to do is talk about and name specifically those of you that have used my hashtag and said you wanted to join my celebration. And just because they're joining the celebration does not mean that they're being quite as crazy as I am with 50 new starts. Those of you that have joined me so far is Jen from Two Tall Stitchers. Now, she is not doing 50 new starts over the, you know, this next year worth of time. I think she's just decided that she's just starting however many things she feels like starting, and rather than having them sitting in a drawer, get them out and get them started. And then there's Donna. There is Esther, Katie, Michelle, Jessica, which is Sweetwater Stitcher. She has posted several new starts, and I think she even has like the hashtag on the pictures in Instagram so that you could easily see that. Sue, Diane, Susan, Jenni, which is Patchwork and Poppies, who you know from, she has her website now with her shop, but also I show you her awesome bags often. And I have more to share with you today. And Kara. Yeah, so it's great fun. If you decide that you want to jump in on this, what are we calling this? Crazy awesome idea of starting everything, starting whenever you want. You know, please use the hashtag, and also, if you would really like to make sure that I can see it, please tag me on Instagram, because we all know how these hashtags are not working the way they used to, and used to be extremely convenient, and now they're not. So, all right. So that's sort of a, oh, I didn't really tell you what the Celebrate 50 Start Along was, did I? In a nutshell, because I celebrated my big birthday this year, and I just decided that I have a gazillion kits and, you know, plus or minus one or two, but a gazillion's a pretty good estimate. Why are they sitting in a drawer? I might as well be enjoying them. And spoiler alert, now that I'm starting all these things, it's so much more fun and so much better to pull those things out and to actually be using them and, you know, touching the linen and picking it and making it go with whatever the flosses are. It's seriously, it's just been even more fun than I expected to have from it. And anyone that follows Carol Saltbox Stitcher, she has talked about, you know, getting the kits out of the drawers, and you might as well start them if you've invested in everything already. And I am all on board with that now. So that's kind of, so what it evolved into for me was 50 new starts between this past birthday, which was September 16th, until next year's birthday. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have more than 50 by the time all is said and done. And I'm okay with that because it's so much fun, and I'm just like, hey, I'm just going to start everything I want to start. But so that's how the celebration sort of started, and here we are now. So let's move on to my starts. So this is going to be number 11 for the year, or for the celebration. First one I'll show you today. It is housed in this awesome bag, which, let's see, this is also a preview of purchases or items that I received since I last talked to you. This is from Jenni at Patchwork and Poppies. She was Jenni Stitching Simply, but I think she's moving away from that name and going to move more towards using Patchwork and Poppies all the time. This was the October Project Bag Club bag that I received, and I had chosen Halloween. She had a couple options that you could choose from, but I just fell in love with this one. So that is the bag that this one is in, and I'm going to be moving stuff around because to try to keep everything organized, and hopefully I don't make too much noise. So this is Prunella Squashbottom from Notforgotten Farm. And here, let me show you the picture a little closer. I have already stitched up and finished the Reverend Gordon Squashbottom. And so I want to stitch her to have a companion for him. And I don't know what I was going to say. Well, so I'm stitching her on the same fabric that I stitched him on, and I had done a floss conversion to color and cotton flosses that I had from when I was in the club, and so I used his color conversion to kind of work with hers too. I mean, there's a lot of different colors too, but anyway, so here's my start. Let's get with that. So this is Prunella Squashbottom. Here is my beautiful start. So fun to stitch on, and it was kind of hard to put away. I'm sure you're going to hear me say that multiple times. I am stitching this one on 40 count Endora from Needle and Flax. That means it is 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And like I just explained, I did my own color conversion using color and cotton flosses. Everything is you know, basically called for color. It's just I chose color and cotton options, if that makes sense. So I'm not changing the color of anything really. Just wanting to use some of those gorgeous color and cotton flosses. So yeah, so that is my start on Prunella Squashbottom. You all know that I love needle and flax. Rachel's fabrics are so lovely. And they're a joy for me to stitch on. I know we all have kind of favorites with our, the feel of things, and this is one of them that for me is definitely a favorite. And let's see, so I can slip that back in the bag and I can pull, so number 12 or number 2 today is also in this bag. And this happens to be a Notforgotten farm bag. That's the theme in this one, I guess. So here is the chart picture. When Pigs Fly from Notforgotten Farm. Now, first of all, I love this chart. I think it's so funny. And I think a big reason I think it's funny is Jeff used to raise and show pigs for 4-H, you know, and had grand champion at least once. I can't remember the details. But so when I see pigs, it's kind of fun. Also, fun fact, my mom loved pigs. In fact, there were years where she like collected cute pig things. So it's just kind of a, you know, it's just a fun thing. And I just love this chart. Now, chart picture doesn't necessarily look that big. The stitch count on this, it is 299 wide and 175 high. It's pretty big. A lot of stitching in the pig. And once I got started on the pig, I ended up deciding I wasn't going to put it away until I finished him. So here is my start. Oh, let me fix that a little bit. There we go. So here's my start. I'll kind of bring that in a little closer. And then let me pull this out. Isn't this fabric so cool? And everything I'm stitching so far shows up really well in real life. I don't know if it's showing as well in the video, but I have had this fabric for a while and I've really, really, really wanted to use it. And I thought this was going to be just perfect on it. And I'm really happy with it so far. So you're saying, okay, Michelle, what's the fabric? This is xjudesigns, and it is the color, let me get the words right, Early Halloween. It is 40 count. That means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads for me. And I am using the called for flosses. They are all Gentle Arts. I may find there could end up being a couple things I might have to switch a little bit as I'm stitching. If it's not showing enough, we'll see. But yeah, so that's the pig in When Pigs Fly. And you can see there's a gazillion stitches in there. So he took a little while. But I love that kind of stitching. I love like fill in or just a continuous large amount of stitching. So, and Okay, so I think I showed that to you. Obviously, upper right start for me on this one. There's a border and everything, so very easy to start that way. That is my preferred starting point. And again, this might be something I repeat several times while we're talking. xjudesign is another of my favorite linens. Her and Rachel, Jucus and Rachel, my favorites, hands down. And what's even better, in my opinion, about their fabrics is that they tend to have a kind of a different style between how they each dye the fabric or the design of how they dye it. So I get a whole lot of variety just between two people, which Jucus has, I don't even know how many colors of linen. And Rachel is building it even more, and she already has several, but I can't remember. I know she's told us how many she has. I don't remember what they are or how many, but so see why it's so fun to do all these starts, because I get to actually start handling these linens that I love so much. So one more look at that awesome project bag. Love it so much. All right, so we're up to number 13 of my starts, which is number 3 that I'm showing you today. Oh, and this one I did not want to put down. Oh my goodness. The fabric's going to be quite familiar in a minute when I show you. Here is another awesome project bag. I do not know the maker on this. This was a gift from Michelle, and there's not a tag on it for me to know who the maker is, but perfect for autumn stitches. Here is number 3 of our parade of starts today, number 13 in my celebration of starts. It is Blackbird Fraktur from Plum Street Samplers. Again, I feel this one is a bit deceiving on the chart picture of how much stitching there actually is in this. And I'll show you in a second. Let's see, what's the stitch count? I just saw it and I could say it to you. Oh my gosh, there it is. It's really obvious once I found it. It is 243 wide by 114 high. So those birds are solid stitching. And let me show you where I'm at. Actually, I have quite a bit done on this one because I told you I could not put it down. Here is my start. And again, preferred start, upper right. And I could not wait to get to the bird and the moon and stuff. So it was awesome to be able to start there. And all right, let me give you the details and then I can talk a little more about the actual stitch. So I am stitching this also on 40 count early Halloween from xjudesign. That means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, and then look at this fabric. So let me show you the chart picture one more time. See how there's a candelabra there in the middle? Sorry if I covered up my voice and it sounded bad. See how there's a candelabra in the middle of the chart? Well, if you look at my fabric, I tried to lay it out so that candelabra is going to be like right in here. And I think it'll fit, like, I don't know, with the movement of the fabric and everything, I think it's going to really be awesome. So I told you the fabric. I am using called for flosses, which is a combination of Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. And let me talk about some of my stitching itself. In the moon, I did an outline of the moon, and then I continued to stitch that way. So basically in a spiral until I got to the center. And I know that was extra work or took extra time to do it that way, but it looks like the moon. I think it's awesome. So that was fun to do. And again, lots of fill-in stitching, so that was very fun. And then the bird is, I just couldn't, like I started the bird and then I was like, okay, I can't put this down until the bird is done because I wanted to see what it was going to look like. And I love it. I love the colors in this. I love my fabric choice. I can't wait to stitch on it more. So that is Blackbird Fraktur from Plum Street Samplers. And between these two projects, I had a fat quarter of early Halloween. And so now it is all used for projects. I was able to figure out how to get the 2 pieces on it, or, you know, use that 1 fat quarter for the 2 pieces. And yes, I have ordered more so that I can continue to have it in my fabric library, especially when I come across a cool Halloween type stitch that it would work on. I just enjoy it so much, and I'm really pleased with that idea. Up next is number 4 in today's parade of starts. That means number 14 overall for all of my starts so far. And it is housed in this awesome bag, again from Jenni at Patchworkandpoppies. This was September's bag of the month, and I texted her as soon as I got it and told her that it was my favorite one so far that she's made. I love the colors, and obviously it's perfect for fall stitching. But it just, like I said, it was one of my favorites. So, number 4, right? Yes, okay. Golden Delicious from the Artsy Housewife. I think it was in the summer that Gigi posted a picture of this on Instagram, and I think it was that she shared the darker version of it, and I almost lost my mind. Like, I could not wait for it to come out. And it has taken me this long, because I bought it as soon as it was released. It's taken me this long to get it started. You know, just life. And that's the other great thing about this celebrating all these starts is I'm finally pulling out these things that I couldn't wait to stitch. I just love the colors in this. It's different and fun. So let's see where I'm at and what I'm using. Oh, it would probably be helpful if I put it up the right way, not upside down. This is another upper right start. And here is where I'm at. Let's talk about what I'm stitching on here. 40 count dark khaki from xjudesign. And I think it's coming across on the video pretty true. I have a really bright sun coming in my window to my right. I had to think about it. And I even have my blind pulled down part way, but it's pretty bright. But there you go. Okay, that helps. So 40 count, like I said, dark khaki from xjudesign. I am using all the called for colors, except I made one change, and that is where you can see the black in this border. I was trying to remember if the house roof is black. I don't think it is. I think it's, yeah, it's a different color. And it was a little while ago that I started this, so I can't tell you for sure off the top of my head what color that is. Let's see, if I look at the list, can I tell you? I'm pretty sure that is Classic Colorworks Caterpillar for the roof. So the black is in this border, and I am using DMC 310. That is because the called for when I stitched it on my fabric was too blue for my taste. And that's all I could see once I stitched it, was that it was blue. And I wanted it black. So I actually, that border is so awesome, I stitched it 3 times. The first time was with the called for color, and I miscounted. So I had gotten, not the whole thing done, like one side of the black done, one half of it, and I had miscounted. So I had to take it out. Then I restitched the whole border with the called for color, and I think I finished that on an evening when I went to bed, and I was like, I'm not feeling that. It's so blue. And I thought about it. The next morning I got up and I tore it out and I decided to restitch it. So, like I said, so awesome. I stitched it 3 times. But I'm really happy with how it looks now. It's much more, I feel like it's much more, there's much more continuity with how it flows with the other called for colors. Because I'm not the biggest fan of blue, I don't think of blue when I think of fall color palette, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I'm really happy with that. Everything else is called for. It's super fun to stitch. I didn't really want to put it down, but I want to keep going and getting these started. And I can pick these up anytime I want and stitch on them some more. So that is Golden Delicious from the Artsy Housewife, on Dark Khaki 40 count from xjudesign, with almost all called for flosses. So that is, and as I'm folding this up to tuck it away so I don't misplace anything, I will tell you, you know how some designers, the charts are not as easy to read, or not as clear. Gigi's charts are very easy to read and just a joy to stitch from. So not only is it an awesome design, but it's a pleasure to use her charting. Does that make sense? I hope. So yeah, I'm really liking that a lot and can't wait to stitch it some more. All right, I will try not to show you, or I felt like I shoved that in your face, as I shoved my hand in your face. Hi. My yellow note paper. Let's see. Lay this down. All right, number 5 in this parade of starts. I need to get a different bag. Yes, okay. Right? Number 5, number 15 overall, is in another beautiful bag from Jenni at Patchwork and Poppies. And by the way, I'll have a link for her down below if you want to go check out. I think she already has some months sold out for next year's bag of the month. But then you can go check it out on her website. So this was not a bag of the month. That's one that she had listed on her shop, and It's basic gray fabrics. I had to have it. And I thought it lent itself very well to fall projects. And yep, I'm just making sure that I'm keeping track of things here. Sorry for the delay. All right, here, chart picture. Autumn Splendor by Brenda Gervais. There's a little closer picture of that. And I really didn't want to put this one down because it's a pretty small chart. I mean, there's a fair amount of stitching in it though, but it's a pretty small chart. And as I was working, I was like, oh, it would be kind of fun to have a finish, but I ended up moving on. Let's see, make sure I have this. Yeah, okay. So here's my start. Upper right start again. Again, because that it was perfect, it starts in the upper right corner, or any corner if you wanted. But that wreath, and then the called for color for these stripes that you stitch, and I don't know if that's going to show on the video, but in real life, you can really see the variegation of the floss. It's so awesome. And you're probably going, okay, Michelle, what are you stitching this on? It is 40 count Steinbeck from Needle and Flax. Love it. Love stitching on it. I think these colors look awesome on it. Since it's 40 count, that means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And I plan to use all the called for colors, which they're all Weeks Dye Works. And that is how far I am. So to be honest, I'm pretty sure if I had 2 good days of stitching time that I could dedicate to this, I could have it finished. But it's fall and I have a few more starts and I'm going to want to move on to other stuff. So I don't know that it's going to get finished anytime soon. But when I do pick it up, it will be pretty fast, so I'll get to finish it. So that is Autumn Splendor from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And I told you called for colors. Okay. So, and like I said, so that is, I think that was a good example of how Rachel's fabrics are a different sort of design type to them than Jucus's. So, and I think that's awesome. All right, let's see. Number 6, or number 16 overall, is also from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, and it is also in this awesome bag. It is Be Ye Thankful, like I said, with Thy Needle and Thread. This came out last year, so I think there's quite a few people that have already stitched it. And I got it last year and just never got a chance to get it started. And what perfect time to start it, but with all the other starts. Here's my start so far. Again, upper right start. Did not get as much done on this one, but it's still a start. And I think this will be a fairly quick stitch when I do pick it back up. So, what am I stitching this on? This is a piece of 40 count Barrie from Color and Cotton. And let's see, I don't remember the name of the winter one of these that's part of this series, but I stitched that last year and I stitched it on this same fabric. And so I had had cut a piece of it for this one too. I am planning to use all the called for colors, which is a combination of DMC, Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and Classic Colorworks. So that is Be Ye Thankful from Brenda Gervais. And a different sort of fabric for me this time. Excuse me. Let's see. Okay, and then we're up to number 7 or number 17 overall. And it is also in this awesome bag. So anyone keeping track, there's 3 projects in that bag. So they definitely can hold a fair amount. Granted, some of these aren't very big projects, but still, you can get a lot in there without it being wadded up and stuff too. So this one is Penny Harvest from treeoflifesamplings. And there's a closer look at that. Has Penny in the name, you know I gotta stitch it. And it's a very creative type penny border. And I think when I posted this on Instagram, someone told me that they had that opinion, or they really liked the border. They hadn't seen it before, I think. All right, let's have a look-see at where I started. This one is also an upper right start. So I promise there will be at least one that's not an upper right. So here is where I'm at. So I have all the sort of outline of the penny border all the way across. So that's about how wide it'll be. There's let's see, one more row of stitching that'll come down, you know, because this will repeat over on that side. So that's where I'm at. This is on 40 count Steinbeck from Needle and Flax. And I'm really happy with that. And I think if I hold it like that, I think then the color looks more true. I am stitching this using all the called for flosses. They're all Weeks Dye Works in this case. Unless for some reason, if I find something that I might need to swap somewhere because it doesn't show up on my fabric, then I'll do that. But so far, looks really good. So happy with that. Excited to get back to it too, because it'll be, I don't know, it has Penny in the name. How can I not like it? So that was number 7 and the 3rd in the same project bag. So I can say that project bag, you've seen everything in it now. Okay. And I am happy to report that I'm staying quite organized. All right, let me see, is this the right bag for, yes, it is. It has it in here. Okay. So we're up to number 8. This is in this lovely fall bag from Patchwork and Poppies and is at home with Golden Delicious. Here is the chart picture from the Woolly U. It's called Autumn at Sunflower Ridge. And we got a little bit of a penny border on this one. Talks about sunflowers. I love sunflowers. Love that house. I don't know, just everything about this. The border on it, all of it. I just think it's so cute. And let's see. I am using the called for flosses. They're all Gentle Arts. This one also is an upper right start. Here we are. So I have, let me make sure before I tell you that. Yeah, so this is a complete right hand border. So that's how tall it'll be. I am stitching this on 40 count Walnut Grove from Needle and Flax. And I think it's gonna look really good because this called for golden yellow is quite bright. And I think this fabric has done a really nice job of sort of toning it down just a little bit. So that is Autumn at Sunflower Ridge from the Woolly U. And that's my start so far. I told you I'm stitching that. It's 40 count fabric. That means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And I told you I'm using the called for colors. I don't remember, did I tell you they're all Gentle Arts called for colors for that one. Okay, so now we're up to number 9. Or 19 overall for all my starts. This one is in this bag, which if you remember right, or if you can remember, I don't know, I'm showing you a lot of stuff. Autumn Fraktur from Blackbird Fraktur from Plum Street Samplers is in this bag. Well, to join that lovely chart, I also have Autumn Fraktur from Plum Street Samplers. There's the chart. Here's the picture a little closer. So I thought those belonged together in the same bag. I am using all the called for flosses. The called for flosses are all Gentle Arts. And this one I had a center start on. So there's I knew I had at least one that was not upper right. But as you can see from the chart, there's not really a good way to start in the upper right on this one. So that's why I started in the middle. And then I wanted to get a bird done. So I couldn't put it down until I got a bird done. And I love this one so much. I can't wait to stitch it more. Okay, called for colors, all Gentle Arts. And that's what I'm using. I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count Grandpa's Sleeve from xjudesign. Isn't that a gorgeous piece of fabric? And the colors just pop off it, and it's just gonna be awesome when it's done, I think. And I love stitching on this fabric. I've stitched a couple things on it before. This was the end of the piece I had in my fabric library, so this is I can't think of the word. It is another piece of this as a companion to Early Halloween are coming to me from Jucus and Hungry. All I can think, my brain keeps saying to me, companioning. What's the verb for companion? Guys, I can't think of it. So anyway, I'm getting some more of this in my fabric library because I love stitching on it. And for the right sort of chart, it's perfect. So this is one of those cases. Isn't that bird awesome? Oh, and so fun to stitch it too, because as it came together, the colors are so awesome. I really didn't want to put this one away. Have I said that about every one? I don't know if I have. I do not know, did I tell you, since it's 40 count, that means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. Can you tell that 40 count fabric is my favorite? I think everything I've shown you so far, I can glance at my list. Yep, everything I've shown you so far is on 40 count. I'm doing a pretty good job of keeping all of these organized, I think. Not just today, but I mean in general. I have a list of things, and I keep every one of them has a yellow sheet of paper where I have notes written on them to keep everything organized and straight, so that when I'm ready to pull them back out, I pretty much should be able to just pull it out and start stitching. So, all right, so that wrapped up. We have now wrapped up 4 bags and 9 projects. I have 2 left to share with you today. They are from the same book. Here is the awesome project bag they're in. They're part of a series of 4, and I'll show you here in a second. This bag I thought was perfect for putting the whole series of 4 in. So I have just 2 of them started so far. Let's get the chart out. Here is the front of the book. Seasons of the Heart from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. So that's the front of the book. This is the back. These are my number 10 and number 11 starts to show you today, or number 20 and 21 of my celebration of starts. So autumn and winter, Seasons of the Heart. And I will be stitching all 4 of these on the same fabric. I have my fabric already pulled out, or I'm sorry, cut and ready for each of the 4. I think in the book it's called for Vintage Country Mocha, and might even be 40 count Vintage Country Mocha is the called for. And I had some 40 count Vintage Country Mocha. 40 count's my favorite. I decided that would make it easy to just put this together and have it kitted when I did that, and now I'm starting to stitch them. So here is fall. I did an upper right start. I am not going to do the labels with the seasons. I'm going to continue the border. So I have planned out how I'm going to stitch those empty spaces, and on both of these I have started getting some of that stitching in there. And so I should be able to just pick these up and continue stitching when I pull them back out. So that's fall. And since these are on 40 count, that means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. Here is winter. So there's not really a difference. Oh, and you can see where I stitched on here on each of them what season they are, so I keep track. This also serves to tell me, because of where I positioned it, that's the upper right of my piece of fabric, so that I know what direction to start stitching in when I pick it back up. So yeah, so this is winter, and just a small start, but I got them out and got them started. So when I pick them back up, I can really just get to work on them. I don't have to fuss with where do I start? How much fabric margin did I allow myself? All those things, right? Let's see. And then, yep, I am stitching these using the called for colors, which anyone that's familiar with Brenda's charts always have lots and lots of colors. And she uses DMC, Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and Classic Color Works. So a whole big variety. But yeah, I'm using all the called for, especially since I'm using called for fabric, then all the floss colors should work. that, so what's usually at the end of the parade? I don't know, but that ends the parade of starts for today. Like I said, I am up to 21 of new starts since I started the Celebrate 50 start along. And I'm just having so much fun with it. Let's move on to some more about my purchasing, or maybe I should talk about my things that I've received, because some things I bought before a while ago and I just got to receive them. So I showed you my new shirt. I showed you the Halloween bag from Jenni at Patchwork and Poppies. I also received my first keeper from Project Keeper from Tiger Lily Designs and the Keeper Club. It's the first month I participated in that, and it's so beautiful. And I won't bore you with all the extras that are in there too. I'll show you a couple things that I like a lot, but if you want to see what all was in the pack and how it was packed up, make sure and check out Kari at Tiger Lily Designs, her Flosstube. I know she did a video that showed sort of an unboxing of the whole kit. And she can explain it a whole lot better than I can because she put it together and made this awesome keeper that I can't wait to get started on. I already have 2 projects planned that are going in here with the new starts. I did want to show, we got these really beautiful pins from Teresa at Jersey Girl Stitch Co. So if you like those, make sure and check her out. Gosh, I got to try to remember everybody that I need to put a link to their site for you down below so that you can track it down. If I forget anything and there's something you see and you don't find it in the description box, for sure, send me a message, send me an email. I will get the information for you. And there was just lots of other goodies, some really beautiful floss, and it was so fun to get one of these, and I can't wait to get my next one now. And I'm really excited to try using the Project Keeper for projects and see how it feels to organize with that rather than a bag. Let's see, what's next? I have more stuff, I promise. Let's see. I got the 2 books that Teresa Kogut has released recently. So Harvest, Friendship, and Hello Autumn. And these are, excuse me, like I said, these are so cute. I need to kit up some of this stuff. I have so many fall things already. So these are kind of going to go into a plan for next year. Timing when I would want to start them. Same with these are Paulette Plum Street Samplers, 2 new releases that she has put out recently. And Boney Bunch and Jack's Candle Pocket, and I love both of them. I don't know that I will make this into a candle pocket or if I'll just frame it or finish it some way like that, a pillow, whatever. And Boney Bunch is so cute, and I didn't really notice that until I got it, that there's a skeleton kitty on there. So I think that's going to be so fun to stitch. My great big sampler that I finished and shared that with you. Let's see, this is Flosstube 45. So I shared my finish in Flosstube 43. That's Teresa Kogut, Faith, Hope, Peace, Love. I won't bore you with all of it again. If you want to check out all of my details, you can check it out. Like I said, Flosstube 43. But that was a special project that I wanted to get done. Sorry for the plastic noise. I received the frame for it. Here is the frame from Signed and Numbered. And I'm trying to turn it so you can see like it has a green edge to it. It's rustic, which I love. It's gonna be so beautiful. So that is my frame for my sampler, so I can get that done. And then last is I got a little, I can't remember, I got a message from Michelle to show me this chart that she thought I needed to have. I have never seen it before, but it has a penny border on it. Isn't it cute? Autumn Blessings from Carriage House Samplings. And I think this has been around a really long time, and I just have never seen it. So with the penny border, and I love the house. So this one will get kitted up. Probably it's going to go into the fall sort of for next year stuff. But you know, you can't buy just one chart, right? It cannot travel by itself. Well, I happened to find this one at the same time, and I've never seen this before. Sunflower Farm by Kathy Barrick. And I love the house. I love the bird. I love the little piggies at the bottom. So cute. And all the sort of Quaker inspired motifs all around. Love the colors of this, love everything about it. So I really, really fell in love with this one. And I dug around in my inventory. I only had a few of the colors. I didn't have them all, so I've gotten them. So this is going to be a start within the next couple days as part of my fall starts. Just love that one. But so I've gotten that since I last talked to you. So that wraps up the purchases. I think that is probably enough damage at the moment. Right, as you noticed, haven't shared any FFOs this time. And I still want to give an FFO Challenge 2023 update because on my last video, I asked you to please help me with some extra encouragement because I just wasn't finding the motivation to get in this craft room and get some FFOs done. And so the first thing I want to do is say thank you so much for everyone that took the time to send me encouraging words. I appreciate it very, very much. I did work on an FFO, but I'm not very happy with it the way it has turned out so far. So I'm not going to share it with you yet because I'm not happy with it yet. And I know I need to do something more. So it's not actually an FFO in my opinion. So I will share that as soon as it's done. But back to the comments that you guys all shared with me. Thank you really again so much for trying to help me get over this hump or whatever it is that I find myself in, that I just am not motivated to get to them. I wanted to share one comment that stuck out the most to me, and this is from Donna. And essentially, she repeated back to me what I say to all of you all the time about, you know, stitching is supposed to be fun and it's supposed to be about the joy it gives us, right? And so if you're not enjoying part of it, you shouldn't be doing that. You should move on to a different project or whatever it is, right? And so when she wrote me this comment, it's like I could hear it for myself what I say to all of you. And I wrote it down so that I could read it to you word for word. So here's what Donna said to me. Give yourself a little grace with the FFOs, Michelle. You have done a lot more already than your goal. You are enjoying starting all your new projects. And this hobby we share is all about bringing joy. The FFOs will come. You have realized the joy they also bring, so you will get back to them. Just enjoy the now. So, right? Like the day I read that, I was really sort of beating myself up for not getting to some of these FFOs. And that needs to stop, first of all, because it's supposed to be about the joy and the fun, right? So thank you again, Donna, for your words. I know I told you that already, but so in relating this back to sort of an FFO Challenge 2023 update, I want to insert here or talk here really quick. You guys have been sharing a whole bunch of them recently, and they're fantastic and beautiful, and thank you so much, and keep them coming. That will help me get back in here or get back to it. But I was chatting with Jen at Two Tall Stitchers, and for all of you that know, the FFO Challenge 2023 is about her and I wanting to encourage each other to get more FFOs done and get them out of the drawer or out of whatever you have them stored in. And her and I were chatting last night about, I don't know, just life in general, I think, just kind of catching up a little bit. But I was telling her that I was still kind of frustrated with myself that I haven't gotten FFOs done in a while. And she said to me something similar to what Donna said. Basically, you've far exceeded your goal that you set for yourself this year, and you're having a blast with all these starts. Just have fun. And I think she asked me how many FFOs I had, and I hadn't looked at that number in a while. And so I looked it up, which was fairly easy to do because, my lists, I keep lists everywhere. I was reminded I have 47 FFOs for the year already. My original goal was 2 per month, or 24 in total for the year 2023. And I have 47. So I've already basically doubled it. That being said, I definitely need to get to at least 50 before the end of the year, because 50 seems to be the magic number for me this year. So, and I already have in my head, like, I can get to that 50 pretty easily. I mean, obviously, one of them includes this big sampler back here, and lacing will take some time the day I decide to do that, but I know exactly what I need to do. It's just a matter of doing it. So in that regard, it's fairly easy. I have another one all set up, ready to go. Again, I just have to execute it, my plan. And then a third one, which is the one I have half done, we'll call it. That one's a little more tricky just because I need to come up with some ideas, but that's okay. Right there would be my 50. Now I have some other plans that I would like to get to, but we'll see. So yeah. So the goal now is to get to at least 50, to just continue to celebrate 50. And that leads me to wanting to wrap things up. So I will share with you a little bit about my plans. I just talked about the FFOs. My other plan? More starts, more starts, more starts. I showed you Sunflower House, so that's on the short list or coming very soon for me. Then I have made a loose plan that I'm going to complete my fall starts probably this weekend. And what day or whatever, I haven't, like I said, it's a loose plan. And I don't know if I'll get to everything I have laid out that's fall starts, or if some of those are just going to kind of get put away. I'm okay either way. So I'm just having fun with it and decide what to do. For sure, I have 2 fall starts that will get done before, or get started before this moves on. All right. Then I am going to start in here in another beautiful bag from Jenni. And I just wanted to show you the start or the chart picture. I've had this kitted up for a while. It's what was going to be my BAP to school, BAP to school project, and life got in the way and I didn't get to start it on the first day of school like I planned, and just life has happened. So Jeff helped me with some plans this past weekend and laying out, which fall starts I wanted to get done for sure, and wanting to move on to some Christmas and winter stitching. He had the idea that I should start this as sort of like my dividing line between fall and moving into Christmas and winter stitching. So that's what I plan to do. This is going to get started this weekend or early next week. I don't know exactly how it'll fall, but I'm going to finally get this started. So for anyone that can't read it, it's Modern Folk Embroideries, AKGIT, 1833, and it's a Virlanda sampler. It's enormous, and I'm very excited. I have my fabric, and I have my floss color chosen, and I know I've talked to you about that before. And I just want to get it started. And the other thing I thought I could do with this is, once I have it started, that maybe I can put a thread or 2 in it almost every day to just kind of keep working at it, just chip away at it. That's what I would like to do. And I was also talking with Jenni from Patchwork and Poppies yesterday, and she asked me if I had started this yet, or if I planned to start it soon, or when I plan to start it, because she would really like to start it too, and it would be fun to do together. So her and I, what we decided is we're starting it together, and I'm putting that in quotes because we're not going to necessarily start on the same day, but we're both starting here in the next few days or a week or whatever it is. I think, if I remember right, she told me she has to get her fabric for it and make sure it's a big enough piece. And so she's waiting on that. But she said, you don't wait to start if you're ready to start. You start, and then I said, okay, then we'll start together, but not on the exact same day. So we're going to stitch it together. That'll be fun. And then the other kind of plan that I want to share really quick has to do with The Light of Winter from Brenda Gervais with the needle and thread. This is, was a for sure going to get it started this year. And my friend Michelle asked me if I would like to start it with her. She was planning to start it. And so we chatted about when was a good time. We decided we're going to start this on December 1st, which is a Friday. So anyone that has this, or you're gathering it together and you're just looking for maybe some companionship to starting it or whatever it is, and you don't have to start on December 1st. We're not really doing a specific stitch along or anything. We're just planning to start on the same day. So if you want to join us, and just do me a favor and give me a tag and let me know if you're joining us with that. So like I said, Friday, December 1st, this is going to be my new start that day. And that wraps up the plans. My video ended up, I'm sure it's a little longer than I had planned. I thought I could talk a little faster, but you know, it's been, I think, almost 3 weeks. So I had extra to share with you. That's where I'm at. And as a reminder, if you are going to join in with the Celebrate 50 Start Along, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. And I like to share it on my stories when those of you that are joining, I share that up there so that everyone can see and cheer us all on, or participate, or just have fun following along, or whatever it is, you know. It's fun. So I think I'm babbling now. Yeah, I think it's a good time for me to say thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I will talk to you soon.